To build a world in which my son is proud of what we do, as well as a world and a work that truly do make a positive impact on the lives of other people, is something that I want to do. Prince Louis is a young member of the royal family who has triumphed over the hearts of many people with his fun antics during significant events such as the coronation of the king and trooping the colour. On the other hand, these light-hearted appearances are only a small part of his journey. Only 8 years old, he is confronted with a number of difficult obstacles. The fact that his mother is battling cancer and that there is a scandal in the family has had an impact on his royal title. Neither only is Louis neither the primary heir or the first heir, but he is also the fourth in line for the throne, which is what gives his position a unique and significant significance. It is not uncommon for him to garner notice at public gatherings, yet, these occasions have the potential to conceal the challenges that he endures behind the scenes. We are going to investigate the secret challenges that Louis has been going through today, drawing on the insights of royal experts and others who are close to the Wales family. This exposes a story that is more emotionally charged than what is suggested by memes on social media. In his memoir, Spare, Prince Harry brought to the attention of the entire world a truth that has been debated for a long time inside the realm of royal life: the emotional weight of being the second in a system that is constructed around a single successor. Many people's perspectives on the next generation, particularly the younger children of the Prince and Princess of Wales, have been influenced by this concept ever since it was first proposed. On account of the fact that he is currently fourth in line to the throne, Prince Louis holds a position that royal analysts frequently describe as being uncertain. The fact that he is neither the direct heir nor the immediate heir has, historically speaking, resulted in those who have been in similar circumstances having to navigate a route without a goal that is clearly defined. Despite the fact that the phrase "spare to the spare" is occasionally used in an informal manner, it actually represents a more widespread concern about identity within an institution that is highly organized. The present royal parenting style is significantly more cognizant of these issues than the parenting styles of past generations, according to numerous experts. After the very public experiences that Prince Harry recounted, it is commonly believed that Prince William and Catherine are aware of the expectations that come with hierarchy. This is especially after the experiences that Prince Harry described. According to a number of observers, the objective is to make certain that all three children, regardless of where they are in the line of succession, are able to develop a sense of value and individuality as they grow up. It is not yet obvious what role Prince Louis will play in the future, in contrast to Prince George, whose future is already planned out. The unpredictability of the situation might present both a challenge and an opportunity. By not being burdened by the weight of direct expectation, he may have more leeway to build his own personality, which is something that previous generations of royals were rarely granted the opportunity to achieve. On the other hand, the experiences of this generation have also been influenced by the particular situations of many individuals. During the year 2024, the Princess of Wales was undergoing treatment for cancer, which was a time that caused the family to experience a tremendous amount of emotional distress. These are the kinds of experiences that can have a profound effect on young children, particularly the tiniest ones. In spite of the fact that older siblings could have a greater understanding of the situation, smaller children frequently demonstrate a more natural and emotional response to dread and uncertainty. Later on, Prince William referred to that time period as one of the most challenging periods of his life. He was attempting to balance his public responsibilities with the responsibilities of supporting his wife and caring for his children. It was via his statements that the human truth that lies beneath royal life was brought to light: exhaustion, concern, and the need to preserve stability in the midst of a crisis. During this entire period, the family never wavered in their commitment to maintaining a high level of seclusion and protection. One of the guiding principles that constitutes William and Catherine's approach to parenting is the idea that they should protect their children from severe public scrutiny. Even nevertheless, instances of vulnerability, such as the illness of a parent, invariably leave an effect on the other person. As a result of Catherine's medical condition going into remission, the family is now entering a phase of recuperation and adjustment. It is possible that Prince Louis will develop a more resilient and emotionally sensitive personality as a result of this experience in the years to come. The atmosphere in which he is growing up, one that is more protective, more emotionally attentive, and more flexible, suggests a different kind of royal path than those who came before him. This is despite the fact that his future function within the monarchy has not yet been established. On the other hand, the experience of a mother facing cancer while being in the public glare is something that is difficult to forget. Everyone who is close to Louis is aware of the fact that he is still struggling with them. As a result of the Andrew affair, he has been stripped of his potential title. In the midst of all the memes and viral moments, there is something that must be mentioned that is frequently forgotten. The Duke of York was supposed to be Prince Louis, but he never materialized. Having been passed down from King Edward IV in 1474, this is a royal custom that has been around for a very long time. The title of Duke of York is often bestowed upon the child of the monarch who is the second son. It was previously held by both King George V and King George VI, and when William eventually became king, everyone anticipated that Louis would be the one to inherit this title. In recent times, that assumption has shifted. The Duke of York title was relinquished by Prince Andrew, Louis's great-uncle, in October 2025. This decision was made in response to growing scrutiny on his connections to Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sexual offender. Following the publication of Virginia Jeffrey's memoir, there was a resurgence of interest in a scandal that had already compelled Andrew to withdraw from public life in 2019. In response to the strain that he was under, Andrew made the announcement that he would no longer use his royal titles. Almost immediately after that, King Charles initiated the legal procedure to completely abolish all of Andrew's titles, including the titles of Prince and His Royal Highness. Since then, he has been given the name Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. This change has immediate repercussions for Louis on his part. In an interview with GB News, royal scholar Richard Fitzwilliam stated that the title of Duke of York had turned into a worldwide infamous title. He made the observation that William, who is said to have advocated for the removal of his uncle's titles, will not permit his son to be awarded the same title that his uncle had been given. The statement made by Fitzwilliams was, "Do not expect Louis to take it on." In recent years, discussions concerning royal titles and succession have become increasingly centered on the ways in which historical scandals continue to have an impact on the destiny of newer generations. Specifically, the talks that have taken place regarding the Duke of York title have led some observers to propose that it might be abandoned or left unused in the future rather than being redistributed. It is common practice to portray these opinions as a component of a larger endeavor to preserve the trust of the general public and to modernize the image of the monarchy. In the event that such a choice were ever taken, it would have subsequent repercussions for younger members of the royal family. Through the course of history, titles have been an essential component in determining one's identity and place within the family. It is possible that subsequent generations will grow up with fewer formal markers of rank if they are removed or withheld. This is true even if their position in the line of succession remains the same. It is a one-of-a-kind circumstance for Prince Louis, who is currently in the fourth position in the line of succession. The future of his generation is less defined than the futures of past generations, which had roles that were more clearly apportioned. Despite the fact that there are rare rumors that he might one day be given a title such as Duke of Edinburgh, it is impossible to say for definite that this sort of outcome will occur because it would be contingent on the decisions that the monarch makes in the future. Frequently referred to as the slimmed-down monarchy, this uncertainty is connected to a greater transformation that has occurred. The concept of lowering the number of working royals and concentrating on a smaller, more efficient corps has been strongly connected with Prince William. A smaller corps would be more efficient. The maintenance of a vast number of official jobs is not the primary focus, as many observers have pointed out. Rather, the emphasis is placed on impact and accountability. Not every member of the royal family would necessarily be required to take on public responsibilities if this model were to be implemented. In former generations, many siblings of the monarch frequently maintained defined roles within the institution. This reflects a change from that practice. As a consequence of this, younger royals such as Louis may have more flexibility, but they may also have less clarity regarding their situation in the long run. Commentators have proposed a variety of potential courses of action, such as serving in the military, engaging in charitable work, or pursuing occupations that are completely independent and outside of the conventional framework of the royal family. These possibilities are representative of a contemporary approach, in which individual preference may play a more significant role than inflexible expectations. Concurrently, it is impossible to avoid making analogies to generations that came before us. As the younger son of a future king, Prince Harry's experience has molded a significant portion of the discourse that is currently taking place. This experience has brought to light the emotional and structural obstacles that can come with being in such a position. On the other hand, the circumstances are different now. When it comes to addressing these concerns at an earlier stage, there is a better understanding of them, as well as a more conscious effort by parents. The level of public attention that Prince Louis has gotten from the moment he was born is another characteristic that stands out as distinctive of his upbringing. Where you are growing up in a time where you are constantly exposed to digital media, even the most insignificant of incidents can become extensively discussed and studied. Despite the fact that this prominence has helped him build a positive public image, it also raises persistent concerns around the invasion of privacy and the influence that attention has on youngsters. Both Prince William and Catherine have made observable efforts to maintain this equilibrium. Congratulations! They would like to give their children a sense of normalcy despite the fact that they're going through a unique set of circumstances, so they have chosen a school that is more private and have limited their public appearances. This strategy is reflective of a larger movement toward ensuring the well-being of royal children in a manner that was less emphasized in the past that is reflected in this approach. When all is said and done, Prince Louis's future is still unknown. Despite the fact that tradition serves as a guide, the ever-changing nature of the monarchy shows that his path may be influenced just as much by contemporary values and individual preference as it is by historical events. It is possible that the uncertainty that surrounds his function is not always a disadvantage, rather, it may represent a new form of independence within an organization that is steadily redefining itself. Nevertheless, when your grandfather is the king, normal is a relative concept. Some people have noticed that Louis appears to be more sensitive to the pressure that comes with public events than his siblings. The youngster's facial expressions, which include yawns and dramatic sighs, demonstrate that he is coping with situations that are overwhelming with the kind of honest responses that only a young child can provide. It will be necessary for Louis to learn how to control his honest reactions as he matures. It is going to be necessary for the regal institution. According to Laura Gilt, a child therapist, the distinctions that exist between Louis and his elder brothers are particularly complicated. As George prepares to become the king of the future, it is possible that these distinctions will become more apparent over time. There is already a shadow cast over Louis by his brother, who will one day become king. The question that needs to be answered is whether or not the palace and the people around him can assist him in thriving in this location. As a member of the royal family, Prince William is familiar with the experience of witnessing a younger sibling struggle within the family. He witnessed Harry's growing sense of isolation and thought that the institution had failed him. After that, he witnessed Harry speaking out against the royal family in public. William is determined to stop Louis from experiencing that kind of situation. It has been reported by a number of royal sources that Buckingham Palace is concentrating on ensuring that the Harry trend is not repeated with the subsequent generation. The palace does not want another youngster to write a book on Charlotte and Louis's experiences, according to a royal insider who spoke to Good to Know. The palace also does not want Charlotte and Louis to feel like they are being marginalized. A former assistant to Prince Andrew issued a stern warning, stating that royal siblings are expected to fulfill their responsibilities, but they frequently do not receive the help they require. In order to keep them on track, he pressed the royal advisors to accomplish more. Aware of these difficulties, William and Kate are aware of them. It was said by Elsa Anderson, who had previously served as the press secretary for Queen Elizabeth II, that the future king and queen intend to do away with the conventional methods and instead build their own approach. An authority on parenting, Joe Frost, lauded their dedication to developing healthy connections between siblings and stressed the fact that the family functions as a unit throughout the entire process. Instead of adhering to traditional roles, they want to establish a family dynamic that is more humane and conducive to equality. There is reason to be optimistic. As a result of William and Kate's laid-back approach to parenting, royal biographer Christopher Anderson observed that the relationship between the siblings is more robust than the traditional royal family bond seen in other families. When it comes to a system that is based on hierarchy and obligation, however, goodwill alone might not be sufficient. When Louis realizes the disparity between what he is supposed to be and what the monarchy can realistically provide for him, he will face the greatest obstacle. Louis is still quite young right now. This is the true struggle. There is a crisis of identity that no one discusses. One thing stands out when you take a closer look at this scenario: which includes everything from the title crisis to the cancer year, the lesser monarchy, and the warnings about Harry. A boy of 8 years old who is not yet aware of the person he is destined to become. His older brother George is already well on his way to achieving his goals. It has been decided and is unquestionable. Having said that, that can be reassuring in its own way. Charlotte, his sister, appears to have a complete understanding of who she is. She is calm and self-assured, which makes her an excellent choice for the role of princess. However, Louis is not like other people. The wild card is indeed him. During state funerals, he amuses the royal family by making silly faces and yawning during coronations. This brings them great joy. On the other hand, he is a part of a system that will eventually anticipate him to interact in a different manner. Once upon a time, he was destined to become a duke, but a scandal altered his destiny. He was able to gain a better understanding of what cancer actually meant after observing his mother fight the disease. Within the next generation of the royal family, he is both highly conspicuous yet does not yet have a clear definition. Jenny Bond, a former royal commentator, said it quite well. Regardless of where he is in the line of succession, they will make every effort to ensure that he has the impression that he is leading a life of significance. This is a fantastic objective, and it appears like William and Kate are dedicated to achieving it. However, having a clear place and having the impression that you are respected are not the same thing. Expectations from the rest of the world will rise in tandem with Louis's development. As he matures into a young man at one of the most closely observed institutions in the world, the carefree fun will be subject to stringent royal regulations. The question of his identification will turn into a more significant one, not only for us but also for him. As of this moment, Prince Louis is still considered to be a child. Because he is only 8 years old, he is full of life and mischief, and he displays a raw authenticity that the royal family frequently attempts to conceal. The entire world takes pleasure in seeing him, and they should, since he is a youngster whose royal expectations have not yet been formed, which is something that signifies something that is genuinely unusual. To counter this, the royal system is patient. It is not the matter of whether Prince Louis will face difficulties so much as it is the question of whether he currently is. A real existence, a genuine identity, and a sense of purpose are 3 things that the royal family has rarely provided for its younger sons. The more important question is whether or not his family and advisors will provide him with these things. Louis might be able to break the cycle if they are successful. What if they are unsuccessful? Well, there is always another book. For additional royal updates, please subscribe to our channel if you found this video to be helpful. Below, please share your thoughts. Are you of the opinion that the royal family has evolved as a result of Harry's experience, or do you believe that history is coming to repeat itself? And make sure to forward this along to someone who will benefit from knowing the complete background behind the memes. I will see you again soon.